What's good, everybody? I'm Brian with TCGL.I.F.E, and today I'm going to be showing off my RED Godzilla deck profile for the new Godzilla card game. Check it out. Alright, for your monster deck, for the rank 1, you're going to run the Godzilla 2023 with 6,000 threat. I've tested all the others. The 6,000 threat comes up, the extra 1,000 threat matters. I would just run the vanilla over the other two. Next up, we've got the Godzilla 2023 for your rank 2. It's got 8,000 threat, and when this card invades, you can search a rank 3 Godzilla monster card with burst and add it to your hand. And if you pitch a 2-step, you can actually add 2 monster cards off this card, so it's super good. Next up, you have your 1954 Godzilla with 23,000 threat. Whenever this card's rage is increased, you mill the top card of your deck, and then if it's a monster card, you can destroy a rank 6 or lower battle card of your opponent's. It's basically a Ginza on legs, which is another card in the structure deck. The effect is mandatory, so that can kind of suck. But other than that, man, destroying 6 or lowers is pretty good. I run Ginza in the deck for the same reason. And last up, for the best card in the deck, the rank 4 Godzilla 2023 with 37,000 threat, the big boy. So this card's fantastic. I love it. It's won me a lot of games. Whenever this card's rage is increased, you can nuke the column. All right, so it's a heat ray on legs, and then if it has 3 or more rage on your opponent's turn at the beginning of their counter phase, it will destroy the column as well. So if you can advance to zone 8 with this thing, pitch like 5-6 cards for rage, whatever board they build against you, the 8th and 3rd column are going to get nuked right when they go to their counter phase, so they won't even be able to count that counter power against your threat level. It's amazing. One of the best cards in the deck. Monster cards, we're going to run 4 copies of the rank 2 Godzilla 2023 with 12,000 threat. This card, when it enters, it'll make your opponent discard down to 4, which in the early game is super good, especially turns like 2, 3, and 4, where people hold on to their cards and they can end up with like 6, 7, 8 cards in their hand. This card can be really punishing for that. Next up, you're going to run 4 copies of the 1954 Godzilla OG, right? 13,000 threat. This card, when it invades, you can mill the top card of your deck to the discard pile, and then if it's a monster, you can destroy one of your opponent's rank 5 or lower battle cards, which is pretty good. You can win with it in super random circumstances. Next up, we've got 4 copies of Godzilla Fest, right? This card also has 13,000 threat. It has a really unique effect. This card, during the end phase, if this card invaded this turn, it can force your opponent's monster to advance 1 zone. This would be better if you hadn't already taken your turn, so I don't really understand the utility of it. I just use it because it has a much higher threat level than 8,000. Next up, for the rank 3s, we've got 4 copies of Godzilla 2023, 22,000 threat. All right, this card, when invading, if it has 2 or more rage, you can destroy one of your opponent's rank 6 or lower battle cards. And after that, we're going to run 4 copies of the other Godzilla rank 3 2023 with burst. And upon entering, this card can destroy one of your opponent's rank 4 or lower battle cards, which is okay. It doesn't ever really come up. I just mainly use these 8 cards, the 8 rank 3s, as search targets for this, right? Because you can turn 1 card into 2 if you pitch a 2-step, so you have more monsters to discard. And lastly, for the monsters, we're going to run 2 copies of Godzilla 2023 rank 3. It does not have burst, but it has 23,000 native threat, and if this card has 2 or more rage, it gives itself an extra 5,000 threat. So it can get really big really fast. It's definitely one of the best rank 3s in the deck. It's actually the one card I would run more of if I could, but I don't have the room. And in total, that's 22 monsters in the main deck. Next up for the battle card, you're going to run 2 copies of Mecha Godzilla 1975, one of my favorite Godzilla movies of all time. This card has 4,000 threat, but if you have 2 or more rage, it gives itself an extra 3,000 threat, bringing the total to 7,000 per copy. And on a rank 5 battle card in red, that's pretty good. Next up, we've got the 2 small rank 5 Godzilla 2023. It's got 3,000 threat, but on entering, if your monster card has 2 or more rage, you make your opponent lose 1 rage. And also, what's really cool about this card is if it gets destroyed or trampled, it goes to the bottom of the deck, meaning you can cycle this and the larger Godzilla one just like it. Next up, we have 3 City of Tokyos. I love this card. It's one of my favorite out of the structure deck. It itself has 0 counter power, but it has 2 wonderful effects. So, if your monster card has 2 or more rage, your battle card in Zone 8 gains 5,000 counter power, and it also has an effect, Awakening 6. If your monster card is in Zone 6 or further on the board, the battle card in Zone 8 gains 5,000 counter power. So, if you have, say, this in Zone 8, and City of Tokyo activated with 2 rage and your monster's in Zone 6, this would be 13,000 because it would give it 10. Next up, we have 3 of the rank 7 Godzilla 2023. It's a 2-step with 7,000 counter power, and if this card is in Zone 8, it gives itself an extra 3,000 counter power, bringing the total to 10. It also has the same effect as the smaller Godzilla battle card, where if it is trampled or destroyed, it goes to the bottom of the deck. And this is super helpful because it is a 2-step. It lets you not have to worry about pitching all your 2-steps from hand to jump. You can play this one on the board, trample it, it'll go to the bottom of the deck, and then you can still use it, which I think is pretty good. Next up, 2 copies of Ghidorah. It is a rank 8 battle card with 7,000 counter power. And this card can reduce its rank by 1 for each battle card you control. So if you can control 3 battle cards, you can play this as a 5. If you control 4 battle cards, you can play this as a 4. It's super easy to use, it's always live, and I actually rarely end up pitching it for the 2-step. I generally try to get it to stick to the board. Next up, we have 2 copies of Gigan. It's a rank 6 with 5,000 counter power, and upon entering, if this battle card is in the same column as your opponent's monster, you can mill the top card of your deck, and if it's a battle card, you push your opponent back as if they were countered. Now, they won't get their next monster from their monster deck, but they will move as if they were countered, so you can keep them off of zones 6, 7, and 8. Last, but most certainly not least, Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. It's a rank 7 with 10,000 counter power. It's a 2-step. This is one of the best cards you can run in red. Its only setback is you have to have 8 or more monster cards in your discard pile to play the card in the first place. And its effect is when your monster card invades, you can equip a monster card from your discard pile underneath this card and reduce your opponent's rage to 0. And this can just shut down strategy sometimes. It's absolutely fantastic. You should definitely be running it in any red deck. And that is 16 battle cards in the main deck. Next, for the strategy cards, we're running 3 copies of Heat Ray Charge. And what can I say? Pot of Greed is pretty good. Banned in Yu-Gi-Oh!, legal in Godzilla. You should absolutely be playing this card. It's always free. It's always live. And if you so choose to play cards like Godzilla Attacks, you can get to 6 really quickly to play this. Next up, we have 3 copies of Ginza Annihilated. This is one of my favorite cards out of the structure decks. Each time you gain a rage, you can destroy one of your opponent's rank 6 or lower battle cards. That's it. On a 4-drop. You can just nuke boards all day long with this in red. It's fantastic. You should absolutely run it. For the white strategy cards, we have 1 copy of Destroy All Monsters. Sometimes, Heat Ray just won't do it, and you're not in the column for the monster that you need to destroy, and you can always pitch a card to invade, so 1 of this is pretty good. It solves a lot of problems in the deck. Next up, we have 2 copies of Heat Ray. Ooh, so pretty. One of the staple cards of the game. You should absolutely be playing it in every deck. Nukes the column, 1 drop. Nothing more to say. And last but most certainly not least, good old Oxygen Destroyer, Godzilla's arch enemy. So this card reads, if your opponent has 2 or fewer rage, you can move your opponent's monster as if it were countered. Now they won't get their monster, but they will move backwards, and sometimes that's all you need. You can use it for them to trample their own monsters. You can use to keep them from invasion victory. One of the best cards in the deck, definitely a staple. Run 3 or more of it if you can. Alright, and just to reiterate, these are currently the 2 steps I'm running in this deck. You have 2 Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, 3 Godzilla 2023, 2 Ghidorahs, and 3 Heat Ray charges. What I found after a lot of testing is that you really don't want to run your 2 steps as monster cards in red, because it sucks having to pick between pitching the card to invade 2 spaces or getting that last little bit of rage you might need to turn on some effects. And so I always opt to run my 2 steps as strategy and battle cards. And this actually gives them a lot of versatility and things you can do with them. It makes them very interchangeable. So for instance, you can add in another Godzilla against Mechagodzilla and take out one of the rank 7 Godzillas, or you could max out on these cards and take out the Ghidorahs. Another fun thing to do is to take out those and put into Jaguars and the extra Gigan. And because the Ghidorah will lower its rank for each battle card you control, and the Gigan, in order to get its Oxygen Destroyer pushback effect, it wants to mill a battle card. It gives them a lot of synergy with one another if you want to run a higher battle card count in red. Which is very viable strategy. Red can counter, it's just main deck red monsters aren't quite as good as blues. But yeah, always remember guys, just use these deck profiles and things like this as a template. Be creative, that's what these card games are all about, is trying new things and diversity and exploring what works best for you. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next time.